Thank you. Thank you. Proceeding to the next speaker. Shweta, are you ready with your PPT now?
Yes, sir, I am ready. I am ready. Shall I start with now?
Okay, so start sliding. Shweta, it's your time. What happens, Shweta?
Uh, Sir, is it visible now?
I think it's not. You can speak. If you are not if your PPT is not working or if PPT is not being shared, you can speak.
Yes, just a second.
Okay, it's being started. Yeah, it's being shared. Now it's being
It's being
shared.
shared. It's being shared.
Yeah, it's being shown. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So first of all, I would like to greet all KYSC organizing committee members and all youth leaders for offering me such a great platform where I can associate my ideas, ideals, and solutions to a large network of like-minded aspirational users. Okay, so let's come back to our topic, that is sustainable development. Every woman, every child, where with our continuous decision efforts, we strive to bring social and educational changes. So first, just to have a brief look on what are social issues involving women and children, and these issues you are all very quite familiar with. So I won't go in detail. Let's come to what solutions we can offer and how we can contribute to our society in order to overcome these social challenges. So see, whatever may be the challenges, it may be traditional social changes or it may be contemporary social changes. Determination to correct these changes comes from value-based models of system, and education prepares a great ground here. Okay, because education promotes individual to bring and accept the changes. So my concept here is to offer each one teach one. That means wherever you are, wherever our youth leaders are, from there they can start, and they can select from their nearby communities to select for at least one underprivileged children and offer them to educate, offer them their time. So that will help in a great way to overcome these social issues because education broadens our personal horizon. Moving to the next slide. See, support and investment, volunteering and mentoring to the common well-being to mobilize the community on social development and quality outcomes are good to go solution. Considering you can considering donate books, clothes, or even your homeware, you can donate these things. And moreover, if you donate your time to the underprivileged children and women, then it will be a great way to go. That really makes a difference. Coming to the next slide. See, community awareness programs are must to move through the process so that society starts dealing with real life issues, and they can develop their decision making ability more stronger. Like in the slide, also you can see that in the right side of snapshot, this is having world's first mannequin skit that was performed and conceptualized by me with my team. And on the left side, as you can see, that we are creating general awareness interactive program among youth, that how to inspire and how to motivate the general youth of our society so that they can bring the necessary changes that will be benefactor for our society. Moving to the next slide. See, we have to support local business because see, local business are suffering great pressure from national and multinational companies. In in small steps, we can offer them our support. Like we can buy their products, we can use their services, and we can promote them through our digital media. We can share their posts or whatever content we get. We must encourage them, and in this way, we are generating solutions for our socio-economy that will help in empowering women also. If a woman wants to start small level entrepreneurship, then we have to support those local business, those local entrepreneurship. And coming to the last slide, I would request every youth to promote Harkness style of learning. Now, what is Harkness style of learning? See, this is based on American principle of ensuring a culture where we promote culture of inquiry, more open-minded discussions, and problem-solving abilities. Since every idea is unique, we must long for evaluation system that is based on creativity and not on broadly learning. That we can see our Indian system and Indian education system. So, if evaluation system is based on creativity and not only on grades, like it should be based on extracurricular activities, your communication, your skills, how you interact with people, and how you support things, your team building skills. We can better equip in this way our society and attain a large extent of social sustainability development, reaching to its full potential. And at last, I will again say thank you to KYLC organizer members and all youth leaders for again providing me such a great platform to spread my ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sweta. Thanks for concluding it in a very, very short period of time. That's called a good leader. Now moving to the next candidate, next speaker, Dr. Lakshmi Kumari.
Yes.
Lakshmi, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. You can share a screen and you can start presenting, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just sharing the screen. Yes, so I am Dr. Lakshmi Kumari. Good afternoon to everybody. And I am an assistant professor in PG Department of Political Science, Veer Kunwar Singh University, Ara, Bihar. My topic is leadership learning from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This is under Youthism is where story begins. First, I would like to start with my paying tribute to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam on his death anniversary. So we have gathered here for Kalam Youth Leadership Conference 2020. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers for giving me opportunity to speak on this platform and share my views. Kalam sir has inspired many, including me. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. I had the fortune to meet him face to face in my institution, JNU. I never saw such rush to see and listen to him. The way he behaved, the way he spoke, it all showed what a humble man he was. There he presented a PPT of the blueprint.
Please mute everyone, please. Except Dr. Lakshmi, please mute everyone, your mic.
Of the blueprint to develop UP, that is Uttar Pradesh. For other states also, he designed such blueprints, which is available on the website, on his website. This blueprint is also available for in case of Bihar, which we can take cue from. Now coming to what is Youthism, what it stands for. For me, Youthism is to start afresh every time. Youthism is to explore new avenues with all the energy each time and trying out of comfort zone. Especially in a developing country, youth has to go through many paths to finally reach the destination where he or she feels satisfied. This point means that in a developing country, suppose you are pursuing a career under family or society pressure. Then subsequently you realize that you are made for something else. Then you try for that again. So it tests your patience, and you have to cross many paths with patience and reach the destination. In India and Bihar, we have high number of youth population. So policies should be such that it becomes demographic dividend, not liability. Continuing, I would like to say youth should try to achieve their full potential at individual level. If each unit, if each brick becomes strong, the whole structure, the whole society, and ultimately the country would become strong. We should defy the traditional barriers for betterment and break the status quo, for example, dowry patriarchy. For this point, I would like to cite the example of sati practice. Once the sati pratha or sati practice was prevalent in our country, but there was one such youth, Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who questioned this, and then we know that it was scrapped. So we should defy traditional barriers for betterment and break the status quo stereotypes. For example, one can go for marriage without dowry. We should question patriarchy. Next, after being empowered, the youth should be willing to give back to the society. Suppose you become successful after great efforts and struggle, then you should not be like you go on indulging your life in luxury and forget about your social responsibility. You should be willing to give back to the society so that the whole society gets benefited and uplifted. Now, leadership learnings from Mr. Abdul Kalam's life. What if we can learn from his life? So, this is the pictorial journey symbolizing his life journey. So, in case of Kalam sir, coming from a humble background, he first did graduation in physics, but he did not stop there. He went for full-fledged engineering degree after exploration. He wanted to be a pilot, but could not become. It was not easy, but failure did not deter him from dreaming big. Then he became a scientist with same vigor. Subsequently, he shifted himself to managerial position as he realized that great scientific venture comes with good management. Next, ultimately, he took a new role of scientific leadership for the development of India. We know this. And we all know that he reached to the height of being the President of India. He is perhaps the most popular president as he had childlike innocence and zeal, and hence inspired millions of students and envisioned the development of India. Coming to my experience. So, I also belong to a humble background. I will in time understood somehow that education can be the greatest tool to empower me. I'm citing my experience, my story. I don't want to sound narcissist, but if anyone can see, then one can take from it. So, education can be the greatest tool to empowerment. I understood it and I pursued it. And my other sisters also, I uplifted the family through education only. From being an engineer to evolving to be a political scientist, I hardly wait for settlement. Every time pushing my limits. This is what youthism is for me. Breaking the stereotypes is like the thing for me. For example, I was against dowry, so it was condition for my marriage, even in arranged marriage. I pursued education, which is prohibited even for boys in our community. But I revolted for this. Then I am also interested in politics, which is unconventional, at the place where I belong. Then I left the comfort zone. I was very much settled in Delhi.
Ma'am, we are having 1 minute in your pocket now.
Yes, I am wrapping. campaigns and awareness drives. But for me, education is the greatest tool for even women empowerment and other things. So my saying is, don't settle, be limitless. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi, for your kind information shared by about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, your learnings from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I'm having some questions from all the speakers, and apart from that, I'll also open the dice for the audience. So before that, I'll ask. I'd love to ask some questions from Jerin. Jerin, are you there? Are you there? Jerin, are you there? Jerin. Okay, I think Jerin is not there. Shweta ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here only.
Okay, Shweta ma'am, I'm having a question for you. You presented your PPT on traditional and contemporary challenges, education, women and children, right? The basic problems we are facing right now in our society, like women and children, are too much like being empowered, but it's not. They are not getting interested, because if you are going to rural areas and you are trying to get them empowered, or you are trying to get them surrounded by skills, get them aroused by skills. But even I can sense, as my mother is working in rural areas, they are like firstly not interested, partially not interested, and then making them interested. So it's the three phase work. Firstly, they are telling like there is no interest in that. I will do that, but whatever I'm doing is good. Okay. The secondly, okay, let me try. And the third one is like, okay, it's good, we can do it. So the three stage performers are being made by many women achievers or many women empowerment workers. So what are your thinkings on that? Can we minimize that purpose, or can we have any other ideas? Are we having any other ideas to empower this thing?
Yes. See, I have experience of going to rural women also, and yes, you are very right that initially they are not interested at all. Okay, so at that case, what we do, we make them learn through their specific examples. Like suppose a family is there where and we often see problems of domestic violence in her family. Okay. So we make them learn that, see, if you had been educated, and if you had been what we call is self-sufficient, you were self-independent, then you don't have to be independent on your husband. Like, then you can do your family nutrition and everything, necessary family activities on your own. You don't have to be dependent on your husband. Like I will tell you one specific example of Mata, where I went for a survey on Indira Gandhi project related on rural electrification. There I got to know that a family was there, and her main woman was speaking that she often suffers from domestic violence. In that case, we often that see, now you can't get. It's not like that you can't get education. You get educated yourself. There are many skill trainings are also going on, or you can join Manrega and also some of those institutes and get empowered yourself, and then you will be able to speak for yourself, and then your voice will be heard everywhere, and then you will get some momentum in your struggle. So that's the basic thing. You have to make them learn through their personal experiences only. Then they will listen.
Okay, Shweta ma'am, let me ask a question from Dr. Lakshmi. Dr. Lakshmi, I'm having some questions for you too. Dr. Lakshmi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Dr. Lakshmi, are you there? Okay, yes. Dr. Lakshmi, I'm having a question for you. Basically, this is my personal question to you. Your topic was learning from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So my personal question to you is like, Dr. Abdul Kalam initiated a concept like Fiora model. Do you know about this model, Fiora model? What this is actually?
I think this is related to urban development. I'm not sure. Please correct me.
I think, according to me, I think it's like replicating the urban model to the rural model. Okay, replicating urban processing models to the rural area.
Right.
So about this thing, I just wanted to know. This is my curiosity and nothing else. So if I'll be connecting you personally for that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Jerin, are you there? Jerin? Jerin, are you there? Okay, I'm not getting response from Jerin, so I'll be starting. I'll be opening the dice for audience. They can ask questions. There is 1 minute. 1 minute to ask any question. 1 minute left. If anybody wants to ask any question from our speakers, they can ask. Jerin, Sweta, Tariq, Lakshmi, anybody. Anybody. You can ask anybody. You can ask anybody. Please. Raji, you wanted to ask something? Yes, Raji, you wanted to ask something? Okay, Aurangzeb.
Hello.
Yes, Aurangzeb.
Aurangzeb, sir, actually,
Please, everybody, mute your mic. Mute your mic. If you are not speaking, please mute your mic. I'm requesting again and again, please mute your mic if you are not speaking.
Actually, sir, this noise is from myself. That is why I'm mute. I have admit. Actually, I was saying I have found somewhere each one teach one. If I don't know who was presenting this idea, and I got this. So I would like to ask, how can you just implement it? Just give me the step.
Sweta, can you answer this question?
I'm muting.
Sir, actually, I didn't. His voice was not audible. Can you repeat the question?
He is asking, like you were mentioning one place, each one teach one. So
Yes,
what
yes,
was
yes.
that concept? He wanted to know that how it can be processed, how it can be implemented. Each one teach one concept.
Yeah, okay. That's a very good question, actually. See, if we have to help underprivileged kids, underprivileged children of our society, then we can help them in two manners. Okay. One is on community basis, and second is on each one teach one. That is my concept. Like, if every youth takes the responsibility to educate just one, okay. Like before 7 years or 7 or 8 years, I was not able to teach in a larger scale to underprivileged children. So I took the responsibility of one children, okay? And that used to come to do some household work inside my hostel. But I told her that this is not the way for a good society. You have to stop that child labor, okay? And you have to get involved in education. So I took responsibility of her, and now she is working in a bank. So, if every youth takes the responsibility of one child at least, or any one underprivileged children of their community, then it can pave the way to the great solutions to develop a better society. So that is the concept of each one.
I think the answer has been gotten by him. The question was answered. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello,
So,
sir. I like to
yes.
ask one question to Sweta ma'am.
Funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. One
Hello,
question.
ma'am.
One question. Please.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. As Vipul sir said that the rural areas, women and children are working to fulfill their dreams for daily needs. So how can you manage their works to needs, and how can you teach them as per your guidances and your that what?
Your question is very apt question. See, not every woman works for 24 and 7 hours in whole day. During the whole day, they must be getting at least 1 or 2 hours. You must agree on this, okay? So the institutions that are going to help them, they have to come forward, like youth leaders like us. We have to come forward and offer them that and offer those women you have to just offer those 1 or 2 hours of our day, and in that hour we can coordinate with you to the whatever skills training or whatever education you want to get, and then we will coordinate through it. So it's all about coordination and motivating to them. That's the thing. That
Okay.
even if they are getting for only 1 or 2 hours, and generally if you see, then they get usually more hours above than 1 or 2 hours. So you have to coordinate with this.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
ma'am.
Tariq, are you
Thank
there? Tariq, are you there? Tariq Hussain, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Tariq, I'm having one question to you too. You talked about the youth and politics in Bangladesh, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you is like, what should we be done to call youths in politics, or to aware them to call in politics, to invite in politics? Because youths are interested, but interested to show their work in social services, but they are not. If they are being asked that are you join politics, then they are telling, yeah, it's not kind of mine thing. Okay, So how
Yeah.
how we can invite them in politics?
Yeah,
How
first
we
of
can
all,
aware them actually?
I already mentioned that in my summary, the military student involved in politics in Pakistan time, but not time. Why? Because political disagreement and political chaos, and so many conflict party by party. That's why if we want to invite any meritorious student or leader student, but we have to first transparency into the party and uh, evaluate. Try to evaluate, but no meritorious student in Bangladesh concept not evaluating in the political field. That's why meritorious student not interested to come in. I suggested that party first of all clear their transparency and evaluate. When evaluating any meritorious student, obviously meritorious student can involve the politics.
Great, thank you, Tariq. Your answer is like satisfactory. And now I'm moving next
Vipul.
forward. Yes,
Vipul.
Rahul, you want
Yeah.
you wanted
Hello,
to ask
Vipul
some
sir.
question?
Yeah, I just
Rahul,
wanted to say.
Okay,
Yeah.
one more question I can take only. One more question.
Yeah.
We are not having much time. Okay, we are
Yeah,
running short
I
of
can-
time. So one more question only.
Yeah, I can understand people. So, in fact, I don't have a question, but I just wanted to appreciate the effects of the Dr. Lakshmi Kumari. So basically, for a girl being in India, it's very difficult for a person to come up with their life examples when they wanted to portray their life onto some stage or onto some means a platform like this, when you come and talk about openly about those stuff. So I just wanted to congratulate Dr. Lakshmi Kumari to put up their personal life into the people so that the people should learn from her. And also I really appreciate the team to give her an opportunity, because people don't talk about those topics openly. So I really congratulate, and I have a great experience with you. Thank you.
Okay, so
One question for Lakshmi ma'am.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fawad.
What should today youth learn from Dr. Kalam which can change their life?
Believe in oneself. That will be the greatest learning from him. If you believe in your dream, then you can pursue it. Even if no other person believes you, you have to believe in yourself first. And then once you prove, then everybody will accept and appreciate. So believe in one's dream.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Welcome.
Fawad, up to you, because you are late and I was moderating in place of you. So it's the stage now up to you. And
I'm extremely sorry. Some technical issues. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So the stage has been done, the speakers has been done, and now we are moving towards the next circle of the program. So before that, I would like to open the dice for judges if they want to ask any questions from our participant or speakers. Judges, Dr. Archana ma'am or Subroda, anybody who want to ask any question from our participant? We'll have that time to share their thoughts, but it is the time to ask questions if they are having any questions to ask from our participant or speakers. Dr. Archana ma'am or Subroda.
Thank you, but I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Subroda. Dr. Archana ma'am.
Hello.
We are having Dinesh sir too with us. Dinesh sir. Dinesh sir. Yes, Archana ma'am, you are audible. Please.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank all the speakers for presenting their topic so well, so convincingly. They have all highlighted certain areas of a society which are being impacted by different problems, and they have identified those problems and they have shown us a way out of these problems. So it doesn't have to be a big problem as such. You start taking baby steps, move one step at a time, and then you can set the trend. You can be a role model for others to pick up, and that is exactly what youths are supposed to be doing, and that is exactly what you are doing. So I appreciate the efforts of all who are talking about their attempts to become change makers. Thank you so much.
We are having Dinesh sir with us. Dinesh sir, commonly known as Dinesh Chachu in India. So Dinesh sir, if you are there with us, please you can ask your questions to our participant if you are having any. Dinesh sir. Dinesh sir, are you with us?
Yes, Vipul ji.
So
Yes.
you can share your thoughts or you can ask any question from our speakers.
हाँ, मैं टोटली एग्रीड हूँ. अभी जो अर्चना मैम ने कहा बिल्कुल वही चीज था मेरे दिमाग में और काफी बढ़िया. और सुब्रत दादा ने कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. अच्छा लग रहा है कि इट्स ऑल अबाउट पॉजिटिविटी, इट्स ऑल अबाउट ह्यूमैनिटी, इट्स ऑल अबाउट यूनिटी बाय KYLC टीम. वी ऑल आर टीम टुगेदर, वी ऑल आर फैमिली. बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. तो मैं आराम से, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं. और विपुल सरन श्रीवास्तव, लॉट्स ऑफ ब्लेसिंग आपको भी और सबको भी. बहुत सारा रेस्पेक्ट है, रिगार्ड है. कैरी ऑन. कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं.
Thank you very much for your appreciation to all of us, all of the team of KYLC 2.0. And now we are moving to the next stage of this program conference, and the next stage is open session. Open session will be conducted by Neeraj Singha sir. Neeraj Singha sir, are you present here? Neeraj Singha sir, are you present here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Neeraj Singha sir. So this stage is now yours, dice is yours, and you can continue with your open session. You can call the participants, and you can now up to you, sir. Thank you.